already know, the Montgomery County Police Department Major Crimes Division does not give up on solving homicide cases, as evidenced by the 41-year-old investigation into the disappearance of the Lyon sisters. Sometimes a case is solved due to tenacity and really the expert skills of our detectives, such as the double homicide on Mother's Day of Mr. and Mrs. Velardo. Sometimes a homicide is solved because witnesses come forward and provide vital information to detectives to help advance the investigation, as was the case for the July 14th homicide at the Wheaton Metro stop. Many people came forward, arrests were quickly made. Today, we're in the community of Montgomery Village, in a townhouse community where we know people witnessed the assault on an innocent victim, and we come here today asking the public's help to solve this case. You'll be first hearing from the Director of the Police Major Crimes Division, Captain Darren Francke. Then from the Commander of the 6th District, Montgomery Village falls within the 6th District for the Police Department, Commander Willie Parker-Lone. Then we'll hear from friends and family members, Bobby Wilson, partner and friend of Bradley Colmes, Iris Colmes, the sister of Bradley Colmes. So we begin with Captain Francke.
Good afternoon, I'm Captain Darren Francke, Montgomery County Police Major Crimes Division. On June 12th, around 10:40 p.m., Bradley Colmes was beaten in this neighborhood. He was able to make it back to his residence and fire rescue was called. He was transported to a local hospital, but unfortunately, while he was being treated for his injuries, he went through a medical emergency. He died on June 17th as he was being treated. The Major Crimes Division took over this investigation and we have been working it very hard. We've been in this neighborhood several times, canvassing, trying to find out what occurred. What we do know is this. We do know that this beating was witnessed by at least 20 members of this community. What we do know is we haven't spoken to them yet. No one has come forward to help us put the pieces together of what actually occurred, what actually transpired that led to Mr. Colmes' assault and subsequent death. It's very important that we talk to the people that, again, directly witnessed this attack. There's some great members of the community here. I think they want to come forward, they want to give us information. We just need to, again, through your assistance, get the word out to them that we're listening. We want to find out what happened. To be honest, we're surprised with that many witnesses that we know of that no one's come forward. So my detectives are here today. We're canvassing the neighborhood again, and we're reaching out to this community. Again, this is a fine community. There's good people here. They don't want to tolerate this kind of behavior in their neighborhood. So we're reaching out to them. We're giving them a couple options. The first one, if someone wants to step forward and just call the Major Crimes Division, it's 240-773-5070 to give information about the Bradley Colmes case. That would be great. If for some reason they want to remain anonymous, you can always go through Crime Solvers of Montgomery County. That number is 866-411-TIPS. TIPS. Again, you can remain anonymous. There's a up to a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person responsible for the assault on Mr. Colmes. So again, and Commander Parker-Lone is going to speak to it. We have an opportunity to bring peace to the family. Mr. Colmes' family is here, his friends are here. They want to know what happened and why it happened. We have an opportunity as a police department, and the community has an opportunity to get answers for them. So we hope that they'll assist us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Willie Parker-Lone. I am the commander of the 6th District, which encompasses Montgomery Village and the Gaithersburg area of Montgomery County. You will hear heartfelt pleas from Mr. Colmes' family, and you have already heard Captain Francke, the director of our Major Crimes Division, regarding this tragedy. The driving question is, do we as a community allow for someone, a neighbor, a friend, to be violently assaulted and murdered in our neighborhoods and do nothing about it? Now is your opportunity. If you know something, say something. I encourage anyone to call our detectives with any information you may have. Let the detectives decide the importance of your information. We need your help so that Mr. Colmes and his family receive justice and those that committed this crime are held responsible. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wilson?
First, I thank everybody for being here. My friends that love Bradley, and I just ask anybody that's seen this, that did this to him, to come forward, because something like this shouldn't have happened. It especially shouldn't have happened to him, because since we lived in this community, everybody that he seen, he greeted them with a smile, and if they needed something, he would put his own troubles to the side to help them, and
It's okay.
this it just shouldn't have happened to him like that. He wasn't supposed to die like this. This was not supposed to happen, and this has been hard on me. It's been hard on his family, and he's going, he leaves brothers and sisters behind that's hurt by this, and and especially his father just sitting there, and so I'm just asking people that seen this to come forward and give the information. And I know if Bradley was here and this would have happened to somebody else, he would not hesitate 100% to call the police or even step in to try to stop it, even if it meant him getting actually hurt doing it. So I'm just asking that people come forward so that we can find out who did this to him, so justice can be served. And I want to thank the Montgomery County Police Department, Detective Kern, doing everything they can to try to solve and find out who did this to him. Thank you.
I'm Iris Colmes. I'm Bradley Colmes' sister. And first of all, we do forgive the people that hurt our brother, because we have to forgive for us to start the healing process. So we do forgive them. But we also want to see justice served. So if there's anyone out there that knows any information, please come forward. As Bobby stated, Bradley was the type of person that helped and gave all he could. He was a good helper. He was a good neighbor. And we just ask that you would come forth if you have any information to please help the police to solve this crime. Thank you.
As you were asking certain questions about was there altercation or whatever before the incident, Bradley was Bradley, and Bradley had his ways, but Bradley was not one to disturb his community to the point to whereas something like this would happen. Bradley's life started in Rockville. It moved out here to Montgomery Village. Bradley was a worker, and not only a worker, but Bradley was also a server. And what I mean by that was that he went amongst his community doing any and everything he could for any and everybody. His landscaping work spoke for him in the community in which we've come to represent and to also support the family. It was heartbreaking for us. It was a shock because, as I said, we all grew up together. And to have something like this to happen to someone as close to us as Bradley was, it was devastating. It was a shock. It was something that, we all had to go through. Prior to Bradley, there has been others. But as far as this community, I've known Montgomery Village. I used to work right across the street at Montgomery Village Rehab. I would come over here occasionally and visit him and Bobby, and his door was always open, along with his heart. So I'm just with the family in order for them to gain peace. If anybody has anything that they can add to this investigation, please, on behalf of friends and family, if you would, step forward. Thank you.
Captain Frank, this has been ruled a homicide. Are you looking to charge the person involved with the homicide?
We really have to find out more facts. Again, what we do know is it was witnessed by 20 people. The medical examiner has ruled it as a homicide, but part of this is getting the other side of the story, finding out what occurred, and then we'll make a factual determination of what the best charges should be. Certainly, we know an assault occurred, and that's our starting point.
What do you think is keeping people from coming forward to police?
I'm not sure. It could be a number of things. We believe some of the witnesses were younger. They may not know of how to go about providing information anonymously. They may be feeling peer pressure. They may simply just not want to be involved. But the important thing and the message to the community is you have to be involved. We can only do so much without the assistance of the community. So could be a number of reasons. We just hope that by our presence today and their families' presence today, that it'll be the tipping point for someone to come forward.
How do you know there were 20 or so witnesses?
We were able to speak with Mr. Colmes prior to his death on the 17th, so we have that. We have some other information that I really don't care to go into at this time, but we do know there's at least 20 witnesses.
Is there any reason to believe there's more than one person involved in actually hurting Mr. Colmes, other than people who saw it?
We won't know for sure the preliminary until we start to have these folks come forward. What we do, the preliminary picture is that this was a beating administered by one individual, but that could change. We need to find out from folks exactly what happened.
What was Mr. Colmes doing outside, and what day and time did the beating actually take place?
It was 10:40 at night. It's just a early summer night. A lot of folks like to come out in their community and talk and congregate, so he was just out seeing folks in his neighborhood.
Have you been able to narrow the search at all with any specific details that are helping you look?
We've had a couple witnesses, and we've worked with them that have helped us a little, but again, we're missing a big piece, and we know that it's out here, and we need folks to come forward.
I spoke to Mr. Williams and heard of his concerns. Is there any concern by police that this could have been done, the fight, the assault could have happened because of the sexual orientation?
We don't have any belief that at this point that led to the assault. We have no information to indicate that. What I will tell you is as people come forward, as I know they will, we'll look at every aspect of this case and try and get those answers. But there's absolutely no determination, absolutely no information right now to indicate that him or his partner were targeted for anything.
When you do make an arrest, is it possible that this could lead to hate crime charges?
I don't want to speculate because we don't know the story yet. Whatever we find to be appropriate, we'll work with the state's attorney's office and make the appropriate charges.
Was Mr. Colmes new to this neighborhood, or had he lived here for a while?
I think the family can answer how exactly long, but he has been a part of the community for a while.
Ms. Davis, did you want?
A number of years, or a number of months?
5 years. He's been here.
5 years.
5, thank you.
What
Was it, does the medical examiner say, was it hands or other objects used to beat him?
That we don't have a specific as far as hands or feet. What I will tell you is his jaw was shattered to the point that he was still in the hospital and being treated aggressively 5 days after the assault. He ultimately died because of a blood clot.
But there's no other weapon used, just beat.
None that we know of at this time.
Do you have a motive?
No, sir.
Where roughly in the neighborhood here did the beating take place?
I'd like to hold on to that information as we talk to people. We have to validate what they have to tell us, so we're not going to talk about those specifics, other than to say it occurred in this actual neighborhood.
When you say 20 people potentially witnessed this, does that include people inside apartments, or was everybody outside?
That doesn't even include people that might have been watching from their windows. We're talking about people in the immediate vicinity of the assault.
You said that you were surprised. I mean, can you elaborate a little bit more on your reaction to the fact that so many people witnessed and only so many came forward?
We've investigated cases before where there's a couple witnesses. that were friends or acquaintances of the individuals involved, and they don't come forward. So we're used to that. I think the spectacle of 20 people watching a fight and then finding out again, this happened June 17th. We're now almost into August, and we've been working hard to find information. It surprises me that no one's come forward to say, hey, you know, let's do the right thing. We need.
Is there gang activity in this neighborhood or this part of the county that, I mean, some kind of organized structure that people would be more fearful of coming forward with information?
We don't have any indication that that's at play here. So there's no indication of that.
Do you have any videos of the event?
No, we do not.
Do you think there could be some cell phone?
I believe there could be. When you look at things that have happened recently in society, a lot of people record things. It's possible. And certainly if there's a young man or young woman out there that wants to do the right thing and send us that video, that would be extremely helpful.
Just to clarify on these witnesses, these were people that were, they weren't just milling around and might have by chance out of the corner of their eye seen the fight going on. They were specifically in the immediate vicinity of that fight and watching it?
They were in the immediate vicinity watching the fight. It was not just they happened to be down the street. They were watching to see what occurred between these individuals.
You say fight, was there a controversy before it, or was he just beat up?
We're still trying to determine all the facts.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you could just kind of replay for us what happened. Like you said, he was outside. Was he attacked by surprise? Was there a verbal altercation?
Well, again, we're trying to fill in all the factual information, and we're relying on citizens to come forward. We have to validate what they say and corroborate the things that they present to us. So I don't want to talk specifically on what we know already, more than we already have.
Is this an isolated incident, or has there been other incidents?
In this community, this is an isolated incident with Mr. Colmes.
And how extensive were your interviews with him while he was in the hospital, or that 911 call that he made in terms of lending information to help you guys out?
They were hard because of his condition. Again, he was brutally beaten. His jaw was shattered. It makes the interview process very, very difficult for any investigator. And you know, we wish we could have gained more information than we did. We do have some information, and we're moving forward on it.